Alright guys, so our next project is going to be to make shadow boxes, and these are a couple examples that you've seen in the classroom, and this is what we're going to build. So on your computers, you're going to come down here to the Dell, and you are going to click on the little flag down here. Mine's a Mac, so you're seeing something different. And you're going to click on the little flag in the left-hand corner, and you're going to click on AI. I'll show you what it looks like on a Mac. So if I click in AI, and I do applications, you'll see Adobe Illustrator. So yours is going to be a little bit different because it's a Dell, but you'll be fine. So Illustrator takes a while to load, but I want to show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like. So while Illustrator is loading, I'm going to come down here to Chrome, open up Chrome, and I'm going to type in Case Maker. Actually, I lied. I think it's called Maker Case. So I'm going to type in Maker Case. And you'll see that the proper name is Maker Case, Easy Laser Cut Case Design. And I'll click on that. And I have some options now. So the first thing I want to do is make sure my units is inches. My width of my box is going to be 3 inches. The height of my box will be 5 inches. And the depth of my box will be 3 inches. On different projects, you can choose whether that is the inside or outside dimension. For us, it's going to be the outside dimension. Our material thickness is set to 1/8 of an inch, which is good for us because that's exactly what we're using. And then we get to choose what kind of joints do we want. Do we want flat, finger, T-slot? And I would recommend all of you choose finger slots. It is the easiest one. If you want to try T-slots, you can. It's difficult. If you want to try flat, you can. It is difficult. So I'm going to choose finger joints. I'm going to come down here to where it says Generate Case Maker or Case Cutter Case. Let's try that again. Generate Laser Cutter Case Plans. And all this looks nice. I'm going to download the plans, and you will see. Oh, at this point I can name it. I'm going to name it something different so I can see. It's going to download to this bottom left-hand corner of my screen. And it doesn't take very long. So while you have been making your case maker, or maker case, you can come back into Illustrator, and you've got a blank screen. So now you're going to go File, Open, and wherever you downloaded that file, and ours is right here, in Downloads, and there's our file. Now we want to make sure that this fits onto our board. Our board is going to be 20 inches wide by 12 inches high. So I want you to come up here to Window and go down to Artboards. Artboard is the white space, and that's where we're going to see if our board fits. You'll get this cool little board off to the side. There's a little bitty square right here. I'm not sure how to describe it other than it's on the far right hand side. Click on it. You get this cool pop-up window, and we're going to change our width to 20, which is the farthest on the hobby lasers. We're going to change our height to 12, which is the height on both machines, the universal lasers and the hobby lasers. And now I know that it's going to fit because everything that's white right here represents the board that we're able to cut on. And I don't want to waste any wood because I might want to make something else after this project. So I'm going to block the whole thing, and I'm going to move it as close to the corner as I can. So now I have saved a lot of that wood. I can make a spinner, I can make other projects, and that'll be great. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change two things on this. The first one, I'm going to change the color. So as you can see, when I tried to change the color, this little box popped up, and I don't have any colors. That's a problem. So I click on the bottom left, it says Swatch Libraries menu. When I click on that, I want to click on Default Swatches, and then I'm going to click on Art and Illustration, and I get this cool little box with all these colors. I'm going to choose on red, and when I do that, you can see that all my lines kind of have a little red hint now. I'm going to come up to Stroke, which is this area up here, and I'm going to change my stroke to 0.001, which is 1,000th of an inch. And click enter. And after I do that, you will notice that my lines got really faint. That's perfect. That means that all of these lines are red and 1,000th of an inch, which means the lasers will cut them out. So now that my box is set, I want to put some things in here because I want to create some negative spaces for the light to come through. So I'm going to open up Chrome, and I want to do an Alaska theme. Your assignment is going to be to create themes that are important to your family. So I'm going to do an Alaska theme, so I'm going to choose Moose, Clip Art, I'm going to choose a black and white image. And when I choose my black and white image, I'm going to right click onto it. So the right button on your mouse, you're going to click on that. And when you do, you will see a pop-up menu that looks like this. You are going to click on Copy Image. So after you right click, click on Copy Image. Then you're going to go back into your Illustrator file. You're going to click into your documents. And if you do not see your tools, which I don't see right now, so I'm going to click on my window and tools, default. Now I have my tools. So I'm going to click on my black arrow, click anywhere in my document, and then I'm going to do Control V. When I do Control V, you'll see that my image pops up. But right now the computer only sees this box. It doesn't see the moose at all. It just sees this box. So I need to change it. And to change it, I'm going to come up to Object, scroll down to Image Trace, go to Make and Expand. And you can see that it changed just slightly. So I still have this weird box around it, and I don't want that box. So I'm going to come over here to my gray arrow, click on the outside, and click delete, delete, and now I don't have the box anymore. Now I can manipulate this shape any way I want in my shadow box. You can see it's a little bit too big, so I'm going to change it. And it's also black. And so for those of you who have taken my class before, you know that black engraves and red cuts out. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to change this to red. And if it has a little red diagonal stripe to it, that means none. There's nothing going to be there. So right now I have changed this moose into a red outline, but if I want to cut it out, as you've seen before, I'm going to change my stroke to 0.001, 1,000th of an inch. You will see it gets very faint, which is perfect. That means that the computer, when in conjunction with the laser cutter, is going to cut that out. Then I'm going to choose some other shapes. For Alaska, I think I would like to see a polar bear. And you know by now that we should probably choose a black and white image. And let's see what looks like a good image for us. I like this one actually, and it's a lot of them. So I'm going to right click on that. And I go back into my Illustrator file, do Control, excuse me, it goes Control V, Object, Make and Expand, and I can choose to have a whole lot of bears in my design, which is totally fine, or I can erase some of them. And once again, I need that object to be red. So I need to choose all of them to be red. I need to choose the other color to be none. And so now it's red, it's none. Of course I have to change my stroke to what? That's right, 0.001, which is 1,000th of an inch. And now I'm going to have a whole panel of nothing but bears. You can, if I wanted to have all of these and I wanted to take one of the bears out, I can go up here to ungroup. So object, ungroup, click on my gray button or my gray arrow over here on the left, and then I can choose on any of these files and delete them. So that is an option to you. You can always go to object, group, or ungroup depending on what you want. So now I have a moose panel, I have a bear panel, and you are going to continue this process until all of your panels have at least one thing on them. The only panel you don't need to worry about is the bottom. And actually that's it for now. And even the bottom, I think we're going to choose a ellipse so that we can actually put a candle in here. And it's already red. The stroke is already 1,000th of an inch, which means that in the bottom of our box will be a nice circle. Good luck.